Okay, so we're going to talk about Rue's training and how we can stay consistent at home and make sure that she listens to all of the commands with you at home. So first thing I want you to do for the next couple of weeks is reward all the behaviors that Rue does that you like seeing. So for example, when we're on a walk, we're going to have Rue heel. Heel means walk next to us on the left-hand side with a loose leash. When she's doing really well and passes something like a distraction, you want to reward her for listening to you. So you'd say good heel and reward with a little treat or praise and petting, but the first couple of weeks you definitely want to use some treats. That way the transition from here to home is a lot easier for Rue. Same thing with sit, down, place, and come when called, and when we're working around her toys. We definitely want to use treats when we work around Rue with other dogs and her items and stuff is involved. Okay, so now we're going to talk about her remote collar and how we're going to stay consistent with behaviors we don't like. So when Rue does something we don't like, we're going to correct that behavior with the remote collar. So what I mean by that is, let's say she's on a walk with us and she's doing great, we reward, and then she starts to walk ahead of us or try to pull or zigzag. We would say no and use the remote to correct that unwanted behavior so it's less likely to happen in the future. So how to turn on her remote collar. The remote collar itself, the collar itself has a little red dot right here. That is a magnet. The key to that magnet is on the remote itself. So if you look at the remote and then you turn it to the side right here, you'll see a matching red dot. You're going to touch these two dots together and see a green light. That green light is going to flash every 5 seconds to let you know that the collar is on and charged. That is the only way to turn the collar on. And no, the remote does not have to be on to turn on the collar. It's just a magnetic key. So I'm going to turn the collar off the same way. You're going to see a red light, touch, and you saw a little flash of red light, so now the collar is off. So we're going to turn the collar on, touch, we see a green light, good to go. So we're going to set the collar to the side and it's going to flash green every few seconds because it's on and charged. To turn on the remote, you're going to flip it to the back. We have this big button in the middle that is the on-off button and the light switch button. But to activate the on-off, we have to push and hold it until the screen lights up and you can see the blue screen and the level that Rue is currently on. She is on level 30 out of 100, which isn't crazy high, but it's not the lowest level either. But that's the level that gets her to stop doing unwanted behaviors. So that's what we're going to use. This level can change in the future, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute, okay? So we're going to pretend my hand is Rue. We are going to use the black S button. So there's a black S and a red S. We are going to focus on the black S button. So you'll have the remote in your hand. I like to have my thumb just resting right below the black S button. So if Rue does something that we don't like or doesn't listen to a command, we will say no and then press the black S button. So I can feel that it's uncomfortable, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I would definitely try and do behaviors to avoid this, but it's not anything crazy. So again, no, black S button, and then tell her to do an appropriate behavior like sit or down, place, whatever you're working on, heel, come, whatever it is. If she doesn't listen, no, correction, and then ask her to do the command. So for example, in a heel, she's walking really well, and then let's say she tries to pull ahead at something or lunge at something. No, correction, heel. So that again is the black S button, and she is at level 30. The red S button is for emergencies only. You'll see when I push it, it will increase the level. This is if Rue gets herself in a dangerous situation and you would need her attention like that. It's red for emergencies only. So it is going to go up to level 50 because that is a big enough jump to get her attention back on us. The black button over here is vibrate. You can see the collar vibrating. You can use this more as a warning in the future, but again, for the next 2 weeks, it's important you stay consistent and you mostly use the black S button, but you have that T button if she's being pretty good and you just need to give her a little warning. Next, we have the M/C button, you don't really need to worry about this because right now if you look at the screen, hopefully you can see that there is just a letter M. That means no matter how long I push and hold the black S button, it will just stimulate that one momentary second. It does have a continuous feature. We do not need that at this time in her training. She is past that point. We used continuous in the beginning as escape conditioning on a lower level, but right now she does not need that. So now we have a flashlight feature so we can see Rue at night. So the on-off button in the back, instead of pushing and holding it, if you just tap it, she has a flashlight on her collar so you can see her better at night. Tap it again and it shuts that flashlight off. So like we mentioned, her level may change. It may need to go up, it may need to go down. How to change it is right now, it is locked. We cannot change it up or down. What we'll do is push and hold it until the 1D is flashing. So the 1D at the very top of the screen is flashing. Now we can turn it down or we can turn it up to wherever we need it. So let's say 30 is too much for Rue at home. She's starting to really flinch. You would turn it down to 20 and then kind of go from there. So you kind of move in increments of 5s or 10s. So if 30 isn't enough, try 35, and if it doesn't stop in 2 corrections, you want to bump it up to 40, just go ahead and bump it up. I don't think she'll need that, but just in case. And every now and then, if you correct Rue, she might need 2 or 3 to kind of get her back into like listening mode, just to keep that in mind if she's playing with another dog or anything like that. So to lock it again, change it to the level you want. So we're going to put it to 30. And I'm going to push down and hold it until the 1D is solid. So we can't change it up or down. So now it's locked again. So those are the features. This is rechargeable. The charging port is on the back. It should last about 2 days on a charge. So I'm going to turn this off by pushing and holding the back button here. I'm going to push and hold it for 3 to 5 seconds until the screen goes blank. Then I'm going to shut the collar off, so boop, red light, it's off. You want Rue to wear this 10 to 12 hours a day, every day. Take it off at night. It needs to be snug, allowing only 1 to 2 fingers in between the collar. The reason for this is if it's loose, she's probably not going to feel it, and it's going to rub and possibly create a skin irritation. The charging port is underneath here by the prongs. This is waterproof. She can go swimming, so make sure this is all the way shut. This little leather tab to keep the electronics safe from the water. She can go swimming with this on. She can get wet with this on. You can use it while she's in the water, no problem. However, once she's done swimming, the collar does need to come off so that her skin and fur can dry thoroughly. Because it's going to be so snug, what can happen is moisture can get trapped underneath there, and then it can lead to bacteria, which could lead to a hot spot or a skin infection, and we don't want that. Where to put the collar? I like to put the collar facing the light facing out, so when you put the flashlight on, you can see it versus it going into her shoulder. Anywhere underneath, what I would do is like 1 week over here and then rotate it 1 week over here. That way she doesn't get like a collar sore, like wearing it on the exact same spot every single day. So you want to rotate it, but again, 10 to 12 hours a day. Take it off at night, charge it every other day to make sure it's good and charged. Then we have her slip collar. This is for walking. It's to help guide her how to put it on. It should look like a P for puppy when you're facing Rue. So P for puppy. You'll slide it on Rue's face. Make sure it's high. So if this is her remote collar, her slip collar sits right above it, nice and high just behind the ears. Then we have this tab and we slide it down snug. This is to help guide her when we're on walks, either on leash or off leash, if she needs a little guidance here and there. This should mostly be loose and just tug and release for guidance. So if you ask her to sit and she doesn't, you would use the remote collar first, but then you have this leash to tug up to help guide her into a sit. Same thing for down. Give a little tug downward if she's not listening to you in that moment. If there's a distraction, you can help guide her where she needs to go. Those are her collars. So this is going home with you. We have the charger that's going to charge both her collar and remote. We have extenders, so if you do decide to grow out Ruru's hair, you have these little extenders to change. Instead of these short ones, these are a little bit longer. And this little tool right here will be what you use to exchange them out. And then the instructions are right here if you want to go over all the buttons in greater detail, but we went ahead and covered everything. So that is it for Ru's training equipment. Again, stay consistent, reward what you like, correct what you don't. That way you are very crystal clear on your rules and your boundaries. And now we're going to show you Ru's commands. Sit. Heel. Down. Good girl. Down. Down. Good girl. Down. Good down. Free. Good job. Good girl. Heel. Sit. Down. Rowdy. Put it down. Down. Rowdy. 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 Good down. Sit. Down. Play here in a minute. Good job. Down. Very good. Very good girl. Good job, Rowdy. Good job. Down. Good. Hey, no. No. Down. Down. Rowdy. Down. Good. Rowdy. Down. Good job. Down. Down. Free. Free. Ready, free. You can say hi now. What are you scared? What happened? Rowdy. Good job. Very polite. Good job. Good job. Come here. Sit. Good. Down. Down. Good job. Down. Free. Free. Place. Good. Place. Place. And place. Place. Place.